Hello my friends and welcome to Still Not Famous. I've been working pretty hard the last 2 months or so on this brand new game. Right now I'm calling it Surviving Tonight. That might change, although I kind of like the title. It kind of indicates a couple keywords that I enjoy, but maybe some people consider it too plain. I'm just in game right now, but I'm going to show you in this development log a little bit of the code and just kind of how the systems work. This is a top-down zombie shooter, 2D zombie game, and I understand that there's a stigma attached to that concept in these kind of games, and it's my goal to prove to people out there that a zombie game can still be made and still be a blast to play in this day and age. But it's an overwhelming task, and it's something that I take very seriously. So I understand that maybe the world doesn't think they need a new zombie game at this point in time, but I want to give them something, some people, some gamers, something amazing, a game that I would play as a kid. Let's go ahead and hop out of this. This is just the first development log. I just want to start kind of documenting the process of creation. Now, I've put a lot into this game, so I'm not going to go crazy on it, although maybe in some future videos I'll show a little bit more specifics, like if anybody wants to see how the lighting works or the player movement, collision, the systems, and such forth. First thing I'm going to show you is that map that we were just looking at, the church. It's kind of the home area for the player. This is the map zoomed out, of course, with none of the lighting or anything actively running inside of it. We can turn on some of the animations. That doesn't look good, but in game it looks much better. With a little bit of speed adjustment, lighting, and such forth. And the player is going to enter into the game from a kind of intro area and go through a tutorial, but this will be kind of the main home area. And the reason being is this is the one map in the game that has no potential enemies in it. It's kind of a safe spot, and it has this crafting table and recycle bench, and this is the core to the mechanics of the survival system, which is awesome in my mind. You're gonna gather items like cleaning spray and other household items, and then like pieces of wood, and you'll bring them to this recycling bench and break them down into their core materials like metal and plastic and fiber, wood, and such forth. And then you'll be able to go to this crafting area, and you'll be able to actually craft new items out of that, which is going to be part of the core mechanics of the game. You'll also notice when you play this game that every single weapon will break down. I'm going to go ahead and start the game from scratch and go through the intro real quick. I put out another video just kind of showing the intro to this game. So some of this might be familiar if you've seen that, but there have been a lot of changes as well. This is my title screen. It's certainly not finished. Hopefully a year from now we'll come back and have something that looks even greater than this and such forth. The intro says, "Temper us in fire and we grow stronger. When we suffer, we survive." That is a quote. It'll be quoted in the credits as well. The game opens up here in a dark underground subway area. It's clearly not a functional area, as these boxes and loot have taken over. And the idea here is that our player has entered this area via some other place and is entered where he'll be at. Now there's some introduction tutorial stuff, kind of tells people how to do things like turning their flashlight on and off. I do a little bit of hand holding, but I want to really strike a good balance so that I'm not telling people exactly what to do, but also giving them at least a little bit to go off of. And right here I kind of start the player off early with one of the better knives in the game. Something simple so that they'll have a chance to use a weapon and get familiar with the mechanics and how to use weapons. And we come to this area, some nice lighting. These zombies in this opening area are incredibly slow. They pretty much do no damage to you. They're just tutorial zombies meant to show you how to use that opening weapon. And then here I give players a little taste of some other stuff here. Each of these weapons has a durability, and you use it so many times it's going to break down. So no weapon is permanent in here. Nothing is permanent. And every shot is really critical in order to survive, because you can only use a gun so many times before it breaks. Now, that's the shotgun. Pretty powerful. The area that this game takes place in is a fictional town called Woodland Hills, a small town of less than 30,000 people. I like the name, however, there is a Woodland Hills in, I think, outside of Los Angeles, and then there's a Woodland Hills somewhere in Utah. This doesn't take place in either one of them. This is just in my game world. There are newspapers throughout this game that kind of show you some of the story of what happened to the world and kind of explain it. So we're coming back into the church now. There's a little door here. You'll notice earlier you can move these benches and these pews around and other items. This is the start of the story. This is the recycling bin that I had mentioned. So you can come in here, and if you look at your inventory of items, you'll see that every item actually breaks down into core materials. Like the shotgun breaks down into a shotgun frame and fiber and metal. And if we want to go craft a new shotgun, if we come up here to our crafting bench, it's all redded out right now because I can't craft anything, but if I wanted to craft a shotgun, I would need a shotgun frame and fiber and a bunch of metal. So once I have those items, that will no longer be redded out, and I'll be able to craft a new shotgun or ammunition or water bottles, batteries for our flashlight, and such forth. And this is going to be the core looting mechanics of the game. It makes grabbing loot, even the smallest things that you find on your journey, so valuable, because you'll be able to recycle them into core resources and then craft them into new items that you need. And as the game progresses, that is absolutely essential to survival. In my next video, I'll show you a little bit more of the story here and how that takes place and where it starts to unfold. There's a lot of exploration you can do in this game, a lot of looting and just kind of discovering what's out there. But we'll get into that into another video. I just wanted to start out this devlog kind of giving a basic overview of what the game is, how some of the mechanics operate, and such forth. And if you guys want to see more like this, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you want to see. If you want to see tutorials on how I create anything, any of that, just let me know. So I'm going to tear through this cemetery for just a moment, show you guys a little bit more, and then I'll call it quits. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe.